All right, Mark, you want to go with the intro?
Go for it.
I wanted you to do it this time.
Wait, me? What? It's like you doing the intro is like our thing.
All right, fine. Okay. Ready for the intro, Mark?
Yes, I'm ready for the
I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 3 of We Digress, the podcast that's a hot mess. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Madrano, joined by the lovely Cloud Mark. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing pretty okay.
Pretty
How are you
okay.
doing?
Dude, it is fucking hot, dude. It is 107 degrees right now. I am dying.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude, it's shout out Texas. Shout out Texas.
MMA show, look into it.
Uh
That.
You guys need to look into the Ariel Helwani MMA show. Look into it.
Can
Dude,
you guys
I
hear
honestly
Bailey?
Bailey.
Are you serious? Hold on.
We got
Vamp
some.
Michael, I'll be right back.
Oh, I guess we'll just redo the intro, I guess. It's fine. We'll just redo it. It's okay. Dude, I have not seen any sort of mixed martial arts in years, to be completely honest. I think the last fight I saw might have been Gustafsson versus Jones 2. I think that might have been the last fight. Oh, we have a special appearance by Bailey.
Okay. She's now banished to sitting here, so she
Is
won't
that
bark.
is that why she's barking?
She's barking because she wants attention. She's a needy bee.
So I guess for anybody who's listening to the audio version of this, Bailey is one of Mark's dogs.
She's annoying.
She is, but we love her.
She's old.
She's old. She have cataracts?
Stink. Oh, that's Scout.
No, Scout has the cataracts. Okay, both of his dogs are broken, but we still love them.
You stink.
So Mark,
What's up?
so a couple of interesting things that happened this week within the world of
Some more crazy
games.
shit happened, basically.
Yeah. I want to real quick. We can touch on this just very, very briefly. Did you see that Twitch put out a video in support of Black Lives Matter?
I heard about it, but
So the tweet got taken down. I was able to see the video. It was like, I understand why Twitch was doing it. But it was just so poorly done. They it was a video in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, but it featured like 90% of the streamers featured were white.
yeah, that's big yikes.
Yeah, Dr. Lupo being probably the biggest name that they featured. Who, for anybody who's unaware, Dr. Lupo is a very prominent streamer on the Twitch platform, and he does a lot to raise money for various charities. Every year he does fundraising for St. Jude's, and it is not uncommon for him and his community to raise over $1 million.
A lot of money,
which is incredible. I understand why they featured him so prominently, and I think it's because he had sort of the clearest message in terms of how to be an ally to the movement and to people of color. So I understand that. But yeah, they featured Alana Pierce, who is formerly of IGN. She now works with Funhouse, which is under the Rooster Teeth brand. And she actually did tweet out that she was not asked for permission to use the clip of her in the video.
Right.
Which some people said, well, I mean, if you're an affiliate or partner, Twitch technically owns your content. But she's neither of those things.
Right.
And she even tweeted out saying that she was streaming to YouTube at the exact same time. So
Yeah, you can't restream if you're an affiliate or a partner on
Yeah.
Twitch
So
because Twitch owns your live content creation for 24 hours for an affiliate anyway.
yeah.
So
So that was really, I don't know, it was really interesting just to see, like, again, I understand it came from a place of good intention, but I think
good
it was
intent.
just executed very poorly.
Yeah.
Um, they
What do you?
also they also tweeted out an image that said, it said something like the G in LGBTQIA plus also stands for gamer, which
Gamer.
which got memeified almost instantly.
Get that bread, gamers.
Yeah, again, I know it was coming from a place of good. Yo, is that the young
Sam.
Sam? Yeah, I mean, again, it came from a place of good, just executed poorly. I just thought that was was really interesting. Um, really interesting thing to start off with. So Mark, I don't know if you want to talk about the lawsuit now or later.
Let's start with it because it's
You want to start with it? Okay.
It's from the wait. Is it from the first or second episode? His
From the
last one?
first episode.
Yeah, from our first
So,
episode.
yeah.
The return, the sequel, the lawsuit to Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, dude. So, in our first episode, we talked about a lawsuit against Twitch that was brought forth by Eric Estavillo, who has a history of really just, I'll just say, just bullshit lawsuits. Okay. In the first lawsuit, his entire argument was bad faith, essentially saying that it was Twitch's responsibility to ban women off the platform.
Yeah, necrotic.
Yeah.
Tip, never forget.
To his entire thing was to ban women off the platform, because Twitch has a moral and legal obligation to protect kids under the age of 13 and teens under the age of 17. The only issue with that is that in Twitch's terms of service, and we mentioned this in the first episode, they say that the site is not intended for people under the age of 13, and if you are under the age of 17 or whatever legal your legal ages in your area,
Yeah.
if you're under that age, you have to have parental or
Or a
legal
guardian.
guardian consent in order to use the platform. So his entire argument was that, you know, they have to protect the youth of America and of the
Protect
world.
kids.
It was just completely just bullshit. And as Mr. Joe says in chat right now, hashtag necrotic tip, he did outline three rather disturbing instances in which he claims that the streamers on Twitch made him do things to himself.
Yeah.
One of which was that he, if I remember correctly, touched himself so much that the tip of his pee started rotting, essentially.
Yeah.
Super bizarre. So he filed another motion this week, and it was a motion to compel. So he wants the court to subpoena the CEO of Twitch, who is Emmett Shear.
Right.
And I'll kind of touch briefly on this. But he's essentially just asking the court make Emmett Shear provide documents as it pertains to his case. He says things like California state law in regards to animal. He references California state law in regards to animal abuse, which, if you're unaware, there's a streamer on the platform, Alinity, who has been accused several times of abusing animals. We're not going to touch too much on that because that's something that's happened in the past. And with recent events that have happened, we talked about it last week with the passing of Reckful. You know, we don't want to create an environment where people are being bullied, because that obviously does have an effect on people's mental health.
Right. And she already came out and said that she was suffering a lot, like from attacks and everything. So
yeah, and you know, it's that mob mentality. You feel justified because other people are doing it, but it affected her in a way that she, you know, broke down on stream. So again, we're not going to get into that portion of it. So he says in the thing, talks about racial rantings and Pornhub sharing by popular streamer Pokimane, which all occurred while, you know, Emmett Shear continues to, quote, laugh off sexual abuse occurring on his Twitch platform by higher up staff, such as Hassan Bukhari, where it was reported to Mr. Shear. So that is in reference to a streamer coming forward and saying that she shared her experiences with sexual assault to the CEO of Twitch, and that he kind of laughed it off and didn't really do anything about it. He also, so he says, I humbly ask the court to grant the subpoena of Twitch CEO Emmett Shear to provide the requested documents listed in the subpoena in regards to all matters listed above and appear at all court hearings that are to occur in person in order to answer questions by the plaintiff. So that was the first section of his lawsuit. And the second section, which is titled Twitch's Responsibility / Disintegration of Twitch's Competitor Mixer, he says
Rip
that...
Mixer, by the way.
Yeah, Rip Mixer. He says that because Microsoft's now defunct Mixer came forth with 106 million hours watched during the second quarter of this year, prominent streamers such as Shroud and Ninja could be switching back to Twitch to help boost Twitch's reach further. So he says he's talking about some analytics. He basically says that because a lot of Mixer streamers are moving over to Twitch and not Facebook, that there is more cause and more need for Twitch to protect the youth, because now I'm just going to say it, because he feels that more women are coming over to the platform, that's a bad thing, because that's, as he would, put it, gonna make his tip go necro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna get we're gonna hashtag necro tip again.
Yeah. So there's that, and I'm gonna kind of breeze through this, just kind of touching on some of the big things. One of the things that really bothered me about the lawsuit is that in his third claim, which is about the ongoing sexual misconducts by Twitch staff, he brings up Hassan Bukhari, who I believe we touched on last week. He was a partnership manager, and he used his power to try to influence some of the female streamers on the platform.
Right.
And so he uses that in his case, and he uses evidence that was presented by the Twitch streamer who came forth with these allegations. And it just, to me, it seemed kind of disingenuous that he would include that, because it's not his place to take legal action against Twitch for that specific thing, right, when he's not the one involved.
He literally had nothing to do with that case.
Yeah,
so nothing at all.
It seemed really disingenuous to me. It seems, quite frankly, it's disgusting that he included it. I mean, that's my perspective. I
feel like he's just doing it to promote his platform or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just to give himself a bigger voice and maybe catch the attention of some very well-known streamers, very well-known content creators and all that. Thank you for the bits.
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's very disingenuous. His fourth, and this is like, for me, where it just kind of, it fucking goes off the rails, dude. I mean, the last one went off the rails, but this one, like, his fourth section, the fourth issue, I guess, that he's bringing forth in this lawsuit is about Dr. Disrespect and unfair business practices within Twitch. So he gives a brief overview about Dr. Disrespect, saying that he is one of the biggest names on streaming, on Twitch, and that Twitch banned him from the platform. And he says, quote, "All we got was a standard statement from Twitch about the code of conduct, and a statement with no specifics from Dr. Disrespect himself." And he screenshots a tweet where Dr. Disrespect says, "Champions Club, Twitch has not notified me of the specific reason behind the decision. Firm handshakes to all for the support during this difficult time." Which, this actually happened, I think, the day that we recorded our first episode.
I think so, yeah.
And we
was 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
With everything else going on, we forgot to mention it. I know we forgot to mention it last week, but Dr. Disrespect, one of the biggest streamers on the platform, who had just, I think at the beginning of this year, signed a deal with Twitch to keep him on the platform, was banned. No,
we still don't know why.
Yeah, there are industry insiders who claim that they know what happened, but they cannot say And
Like, he didn't just get banned; they
yeah,
refunded all of his subs as well.
yeah. Not only
So
that, but he lost like his Discord partnership. He lost
yeah,
partnerships with a lot of people. So the working theory right now is that it is a legal matter, which is why industry insiders who know what happened cannot say anything. Um, we'll have to wait and see. I know that another popular streamer, Nick Merckx, who is I think definitely top three in terms of like sub count on Twitch
he's
right
very
now.
big. Yes.
He said that he knows what's going on and that he expects Doc to say something within the next 2 months. So really, who's to say? Um, so our plaintiff here continues to go on, and he says that after a wave of allegations of sexual misconduct, the service has begun banning even some of the most prominent streamers, answering past accusations that the company did not apply to its code of conduct equally to all streamers. He even mentions that Donald Trump's Twitch account was temporarily suspended
Right.
for hateful content or conduct, excuse me, which that happened, I believe, late last week, right?
Correct. Right.
He says, and so for the past few weeks, the gaming and streaming community have been asking themselves one big unanswered question. Why was Dr. Disrespect banned from Twitch? Because of this, the plaintiff is humbly requesting documents as pertaining to why Dr. Disrespect was banned from the platform in order to deem if it was fair, valid, and legally binding reason. But if not, the plaintiff demands that Twitch hand over all documents via the custodian of records at Twitch on reasons as to why Dr. Disrespect was permanently banned. He goes on to say that the ban was supposedly due to a violation of Twitch's TOS, and then this is where I take issue with. Well, I mean, one of the many things I take issue with. He says, but as many are reporting, the real reason having to do with freeing up money to buy bigger streamers known as Ninja and Shroud. So he is asserting that the reason Dr. Disrespect was banned was so that that money could be freed up to have contracts in place to get Shroud and Ninja back on the platform.
Well,
Now-
Shroud and Ninja have not been signed anywhere as of
Exactly.
right now, as of today at this hour.
They are still free agents in the world of streaming.
Hey,
Now, he says as many are reporting. Now, this whole thing stems from one streamer who is also a lawyer, and forgive me, I don't have this streamer's name, but he said that to him, in his opinion, it makes the most sense that Twitch would figure out a way to break the agreement with Dr. Disrespect if it's a violation of TOS, that they would break that agreement and that would free up the millions of dollars that they were supposed to give Doc in order to bring Ninja and Shroud back to Twitch where they could stay for the next couple of years.
right.
Again, that is not, as far as we know, what the actual reasoning is. That is the opinion of a streamer who happens to be a lawyer as well, right?
Right.
So for the plaintiff in this situation to argue that that is the reason is disingenuous.
Because he has no idea.
Yeah, he
Like the
has
rest of us,
no
we have
idea.
no idea what is happening with Doc,
Exactly.
with Ninja, or with Shroud.
So yeah, so there's that. He also claims that because of that breaking of the contract, and to free up the money, that Twitch is engaging in unfair business practices both at the local and state level within California. Again, general public does not know, what happened with Dr. Disrespect. People like Slasher, who's a huge industry insider, have said that they are not willing to disclose why it happened, which again leads many people to believe that it's a legal issue. So again, we don't know what's going on. Neither does this, the plaintiff in this case. I think at this point, he's, like Mark said it earlier, he's just kind of saying things to sort of fit his narrative within the case.
Right.
So there's that. Let me see here. I'm just gonna skim through this. This is great, dude. His sixth argument: Twitch illegally promotes porn site OnlyFans.com.
Yeah, so he's bringing that back from his last one, his last lawsuit.
Which, when we talked about it in the first lawsuit, a lot of the evidence he shared was content from the streamers' Twitter or Instagram accounts or from their OnlyFans accounts, which are not associated with Twitch. Okay? You can link to your Twitter and Instagram accounts from Twitch, but Twitch, as far as we know, does not allow you to link to Patreon or OnlyFans.
Right, correct.
That is a violation of TOS. That does not mean that that a streamer like Mark, that does not mean that Mark can't advertise his OnlyFans or his Patreon on Twitter or Instagram. Okay.
Right, like on stream, I can be like, "Yo, follow me on Twitter, Patreon, sub to me on whatever." I can do that.
Yeah. So there's that. So he basically says that OnlyFans is a popular adult entertainment industry that hosts content creators from other genres, including such popular Twitch streamers as Amaranth and Pink Sparkles. So again, I know for sure Amaranth he named in the initial lawsuit. I don't know about Pink Sparkles. And then this is great, dude. He literally just links an entire New York Times article about how OnlyFans is changing the porn industry.
Yeah, it's like in high school when you're like looking for things to cite in your sources. You're like, man, this is pretty good, and then you use that through your whole paper, and that's your only source.
So 6.5 pages of the article or of his lawsuit are the article from the New York Times. So there's that out of the 24 pages. Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, in conclusion, since many popular female streamers continue to advertise their OnlyFans on Twitch, Twitch is therefore engaging in illegal behavior by promoting porn via the platform. Again, Twitch does not allow you to link to Patreon or to OnlyFans. You can link to your Instagram or Twitter, and on those sites you can promote those things. Right. But Twitch, outside of Twitch, cannot regulate what a streamer is sharing. Okay. The streamer is their own person. They would technically, I would consider them not employees of Twitch, but they would be, I guess, contractors. Does that make sense? They don't work for Twitch, but they partner with Twitch on the platform, right? So therefore they have to abide by the terms of service on the website, but they do not have to abide by the exact same policies that an employee of Twitch would have to abide by, right? And then he lists some supplemental facts in regards to sexually suggestive material on Twitch. If you remember last time we talked about it, he openly stated that he followed just shy of 800 female streamers on Twitch.
Only female streamers.
Only female, zero male streamers. He says the plaintiff is now following 857 female streamers, as can be verified by going to twitchinsights.net/follow list and typing in his username. I'm not going to give out his username. The plaintiff is ashamed of previous admissions to his behavior, but due to Twitch's constant sexual suggestive material, the plaintiff has deemed it necessary to provide 3 more examples of his sexually addictive deterioration due to Twitch.
Oh my god.
So if you remember last time we talked about how we mentioned it earlier in the show, the necrotic tip. We mentioned the first episode when we talked about this, how he ejaculated, and mom, dad, if you're listening, I am so sorry, but the dude said that he ejaculated onto his computer monitor and it caused a short circuit, which caused an electrical outage, if I remember correctly. So he provided 3 more examples. He says the plaintiff once cyberported Twitch porn stars Mia Malkova, which I love that he refers to them as Twitch porn stars when it's like it's like if you're a porn star and you're a Twitch streamer, the two things are not mutually exclusive. Right,
they do not go hand in hand.
It's whatever. So he says that he ported her stream through his Windows mixed reality headset so that he could feel as close to her as possible and view her in an array of realism as she played Catherine Fullbody. But as the plaintiff But as the plaintiff arose from his chair, he accidentally tripped on the headset wiring and fell backwards, pulling his gaming chair and other items down, crashing onto him, injuring his balls. That's actually word for word what the lawsuit says. His second admission. The plaintiff was once watching Loya, who is a popular Fortnite streamer, when he decided to donate to her so that she would.
2 seconds, I gotta go put Bailey.
Yeah, you're good. I'll keep going with
2
this.
seconds, I'll be right back.
He decided to donate to her so that she would only say his name, and therefore, by doing this, within the plaintiff's mind, would complete his life. However, he never got a response from her. This gave the plaintiff extreme diarrhea due to his Crohn's disease, and being utterly shattered for the day, decided to make said feelings go away by playing some PlayStation VR. However, during the virtual reality session, the plaintiff had to wear diapers, which made gaming extremely difficult. He chose not to waver in his endeavors to feel better. The diapers ended up bursting as he was just finishing to shoot a zombie in the head in the game The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and after slipping on his diarrhea, the plaintiff vowed to never play with extreme diarrhea again.
Guys, you can't make this shit up.
Is shit really the proper...
Oh, shit.
You can't make this diarrhea up.
You can't make it up, man.
Yeah, again, it's like I don't know, man. His arguments are all things that are preventable, to be completely honest with you. This is my favorite one. And if you're big in the gaming community, especially memes within the gaming community, I think you'll appreciate this one.
Yeah.
Quote, the plaintiff was once cosplaying as popular anime character Vegeta while masturbating and dancing in sync to Twitch streamer Gavrilka, who reminded the plaintiff of an older version of Asuna Yuki. I have no idea who that is, Mark. Do you have any?
That's from Sword Art Online. And
okay.
You see that she's the main chick.
Okay. However, while trying to masturbate and dance at the same time to the song She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals, the plaintiff accidentally spilled some Mountain Dew and Doritos all over the floor, which caused his parents to come rushing in thinking he had, quote, died or something, only to find him in full costume masturbating to the Twitch streamer, causing extreme humiliation to the point of death. This is where, and we were talking about this before we started streaming, this is where Mark and I were kind of like,
this guy might be a troll.
Is this guy actually just trolling all of us?
Because he might just be a troll, dude.
Right, and it's that line about he spilled Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Yeah, if you've been a part of the gaming community for, at any amount of time, you always hear, yeah, gamers love Mountain Dew and Doritos. Yeah. That's what we live off of. Spoiler, I actually don't like either of those things.
Dude, I used Mountain Dew Baja Blast, only good flavor of Mountain Dew. There, I fucking said it! Sorry for the Mountain Dew sponsorship never coming through, boys, but it's the truth. Yes. It's the truth. So when I read that, and I read that out to Mark, I think we were both like, I think this guy might be a fucking troll, dude.
He might be trolling. He might be playing literally everybody.
Yeah, dude. The other part that I, was like, what? Was where he says that it caused him extreme humiliation to the point of death, which I believe is just him just exaggerating, because to say that it caused him humiliation to the point of death would imply that he killed himself.
Right.
But he's clearly still alive because,
he's obviously making this thing, so he's clearly still alive.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just my take on it. Again, it's a very trolly lawsuit. The rest of it is he touches on the potential animal abuse by one popular streamer. He touches on Pokimane showing pornography on the site, which makes it seem like she was just like streaming it. What it, in that situation, what it was it was a mod, right?
It was a mod, and it was a hilarious. It's a pretty funny clip to view from the outside.
So basically, a mod sends her a link, and she clicks on it, and it's a video from Pornhub, and it was like instantly she realizes what it was, and she like clicks out of it,
Yeah.
You know.
Like you just see her a scream of terror, and then she clicks off of it, and is
Yeah,
like,
and
"Oh
it all
God."
happened, I would say, within the span of not even 3 seconds. Like it was a fairly quick response, you know.
Mhm.
And as far as I'm aware, and I could be remembering this wrong, Mark, she was given a warning. She wasn't banned
Right.
or suspended. She was given a warning.
She was given a warning,
Yeah.
and I don't think she should have been banned or anything because it was clearly an accident, and it was clearly not something she meant to happen.
Yeah. He also touches on another popular Twitch streamer, Invader Vi. And I just thought this was funny. He says Invader Vi is a Canadian Twitch streamer based in Toronto. The streamer spends most of the time playing video games and sharing it online. Okay, that makes sense. She is a Twitch streamer.
Right.
Um, and then he says, and this is actually in the document, Tyrannosaurus Rex is the full name of the streamer.
Wait, that's ingenious. What the hell?
Which
That's so good.
I don't believe is her actual name. I think that's just something she calls herself, you know, as like as a joke within the community.
Right.
So
That's so good.
I don't know.
I'm about it.
But that, yeah, dude, is just is really fun. He also touches on another streamer named Sinsin Bear, who he actually says that she promoted her dirty and used panties, in which she publicly admits to, quote, coming in order to sell it on the dark market to anyone sadly desperate enough to buy. He says sadly desperate enough to buy.
He would 100% buy it.
And then the next sentence literally says, of which unfortunately the plaintiff did not have the funds to acquire them himself. But he brings up Sinsin Bear as another, female streamer who should be banned. But the thing is she's been banned several times on the platform for things that go against Twitch's TOS.
Right.
You know, like nip slips, things like that. She's been banned for. And I remember at one point she even tweeted out that she was like done with Twitch after, I think it was after her third ban or something. She was like, I'm done with Twitch. I'm never streaming on the platform again. And then she got unbanned and she started streaming again. But like, you're going to provide evidence for a streamer doing something, again, not on the Twitch platform, arguing that she should be banned, but she was banned on the Twitch platform for violating their TOS several times. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Then he also brings up Twitch streamers who pole dance on stream, which I think this goes back to what we talked about last week, just not sexualizing women, because pole fitness is a thing that exists.
Yeah, and it's a pretty big thing.
And it's even like Markiplier. Popular YouTuber, popular Twitch streamer Markiplier does pole fitness.
Yeah.
You know? And so he links streamers who do pole fitness on stream, which like it falls under the fitness category. You know, but again, I think it goes back to that whole like he's just sexualizing the female body. So literally like I wonder if he would make the same argument if he like saw somebody running, you know, like a woman running down the street and she was wearing just a sports bra. Would he make the same arguments?
Probably.
You know what I mean? So there's that. He touches on the Twitch Advisory Council and whatnot, but that's about it. Again, it's just a bullshit lawsuit. That's really what it comes down to.
But from the source, you know, you kind of this is kind of what you expect coming from this guy.
Yeah, coming from all the previous lawsuits he's had. I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. Again, I have a feeling, and we mentioned this in the first podcast, but any sane judge is going to look at this and just throw it out. They're just going to throw it out and say, don't waste my time. You know, don't waste my fucking time, you know?
Right.
So there was that. I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about it, Mark.
No, that's just like this guy, man. I just don't want to give him any more attention, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like he's just doing all this for attention, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what comes of it.
Right.
I guess moving away to something a lot more heavy. That seems to be the thing with this podcast, dude, is every week we talk about something heavy, right?
It's been, okay, we wanted fun topics, right? But then all this shit happened back to back to back. And we're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about it. We can't just ignore what it is.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing to come out this past week, Sky Williams is not a good person.
Yeah, he's
Which
oof.
I know, we used to view his content back when we were in college.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he is.
There's a lot of shady things that a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't know about, and that wasn't like you couldn't perceive in his online persona, which goes
Yeah.
back to last week.
Mm-hmm.
People saying that they knew Fed was a good guy and whatever, but it's like no, you don't know him. You don't know him at all, and that's what happened with us. We viewed his content. We were like, oh yes, guy's pretty cool,
Yep.
but we didn't know him. We didn't know him at all, and this came out. So
Yeah. So the big thing to come out of this was that, and this ties into the allegations that we talked about last week within the Smash community. The common thread between all of those was Sky Williams.
right.
He has owned several houses, never at the same time. It's always been he's owned one house at a time, and he's let people stay there, and that's allegedly where a lot of this stuff began.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. So I know that let me see here. When was it? July 6th, which was what, Monday, I believe?
Monday.
He had a 3-hour stream where he was addressing the
Oh
allegations.
yeah.
The allegations were essentially that it was allegations about abuse of power, harassment, and sexual misconduct that occurred within his properties. And there was several people that came forward to corroborate these stories. I'm still having trouble with that word. Words are hard.
Words are hard.
So yeah, he came out with this 3-hour live streamed response that just like, oh my god, dude!
It was not good.
It was a shit show.
It was a giant shit show.
Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't watch the whole thing, but I did catch about an hour of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know it was happening until I got on Twitter and everybody, and they actually got Twitch Stop Sky trending on Twitter, and that's how I found out about it. I was like, what are they talking about? So then I go and I see he's actually on Twitch doing all this, his live stream, and holy shit, it is not pretty.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. So so many of the allegations, and I'm reading this from an article from .eSports. Many of the allegations, including those featuring D1, Kaitero, and Zero, they all had one thing in common. They all stayed at one of the several houses owned by Williams from 2014 to present. Mm-hmm. By his own account, Williams would let various people stay with him in his homes, with 24 residents staying with him at one point. According to the allegation, he was prone to impulsive decisions. Jacqueline Jaisu Cho, an artist with an extensive background in the Smash community, who lived in the first Sky house, was one of the first to come forward with her account. She said things like that he threatened to beat her several times, and that even as jokes, she slowly grew to learn over the years that he was, quote, full of shit and insane, and that she could not trust him. She said that Sky would emotionally extort and blackmail people into submission. It included not paying her, for her commissioned work, which is something that a lot of people came forward to say that he owed them money. Like, the dude's in a lot of debt because he owes so many people so much money.
Yeah, here's a tweet by LS, and if you don't know who LS is, he's a caster for Korean League of Legends, and Sky was a big part of League. That's where I first found into him. And his tweet is basically, by everything I've been messaged about and confirmed so far, as of this moment, this was in July 8th, LS says that he owes $359,000. That's how much he is in debt. And then
I read actually another estimate in one of these articles that it was closer to 365,000.
It's
so
It's a crazy amount of
Still
money.
a shit ton of money.
That. Oh my goodness! Not only
Yeah,
that,
dude.
but there's a. I think what was his name Samuelson. I think his name was Samuelson. He lent Sky $55,000
Yes, yes.
because Sky basically shared with Samuelson. I think is Samuelson. I am Samuelson. I am Sam. I
Here, I'll find it
am.
for
I
you.
am a Samuelson.
Yeah,
Something like
he
that.
on Twitter. He is at I am a Samuelson. I am a
Yeah.
Samuelson.
There you go. And he released a tweet longer, and I'll paste that in chat.
Yep.
So it's right there. But basically, Sky tells him his dad has cancer, and he's like, "Yo, please lend me this money. I need to, basically help him out." But the excuse, okay, I'll just read this excerpt right here. The excuse he has told me is that his dad lied to him about having cancer, and instead used the money on a cosmetic surgery for his penis. That is like,
Yeah.
first off, lying about having cancer is like really fucking disgusting. First
Yeah,
of all,
of
but then
course.
using that money for a cosmetic surgery on your bits, dude,
On your member.
on your member, it's ridiculous. It's insane. Like, how can
Yeah.
you? How?
And it kind of comes down to what we talked about last week with the Fed situation, where it's a power dynamic, and this was a dude who, at the time, was one of the most popular content creators within the league community,
Right.
and he had this perceived power, and he used it. And I mean, there's even, and you guys, feel free to even search on Twitter just Sky Williams to see that all of the allegations against him, that he would threaten to, if you're living in the house, he would threaten to break your keyboard. He would threaten to dump water on your setups and stuff. He had a tiered system within the house. So basically, if you were close to him, if you had money, or you had some sort of influence within the community, you were top tier. And if you were a gamer, you were shit tier. You were at the bottom of the list. And that he would threaten people by saying, if you don't get out of the house or you don't do this, I'll just call the cops and have them take you out. Like, it's all just incredibly disgusting behavior. And again, and Mark mentioned it goes back to the whole, like, you don't really know these people on the internet. And I mean, to this day, one of my favorite videos that Mark ever showed me was it was one of Sky's videos, the Christian rock video,
Christian death metal,
excuse me, which is hilarious.
It's fucking hilarious.
And then it's like, this shit comes out, and you're like, well, fuck, bro. Like just as a fan, where do you go? I would hope that those that are sane would be like, yeah, dude, like, fuck this guy. Yeah. It's unacceptable. We'll see what happens. The nature of the internet is such that if something bad happens to you tomorrow, you get exposed for something, give it a couple months and nobody's gonna remember, and it's sad. It's sad. And I think that people like Sky, like Fed, like everybody else who has had these allegations come out against them, they need to be held responsible. And I think it's up to a lot of us to hold them responsible, hold them accountable for their actions. Because again, like, if people stop talking about this stuff, it's gonna go away. And then if it goes away, it could happen again.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's just the last month within the gaming industry has just been it's been really frustrating. It's been tiring.
It's been shitty.
It's been shitty. It's been really shit. I know, Mark, I would say you were a bigger fan of his than I was. So I mean, how does what's your perception of what's happening? Being that he was a really big League creator at a time when you were like just getting into League, and you were really like getting into it. Like, so what's your perception of all this?
Yeah, it wasn't just me. It was like me and my little brother Zach. We were like very much when we were first getting into League. This is back in 2012, 2013. So quite a while ago. But he was one of the biggest voices, content creators, and everything in the scene. So it was hard to not know who Sky is. It was hard to be like, you go into a rank game and be like, yeah, I'm gonna use the DST, which is something that he made, one of his content videos, or like just quoting some of his stuff and whatever. And it's crazy to think that, me and my brother would have so much fun doing that, and now here we are where we're like, wow, this guy is an asshole. Yeah. Basically, right? So it's just like a big mental boom of who you think is really cool, but it like turns out they're not cool at all.
Yeah.
And that's big sad. Big sad.
Yeah, and again, kudos and a big thank you to everybody who's come out and shared their stories and corroborated other stories. Again, the only reason that any of this stuff is getting out and that it's going to lead to positive change within this community is if people continue to speak out, and if we on the outside of these situations continue to speak about them and hold people accountable. And it's not just holding these people accountable, but I think even within friend groups, if you're playing a game and somebody says something that they shouldn't say, like calling them out on it, which, to be honest with you, I've been on that end before where I've said something that I shouldn't have said. Nothing racially insensitive or sexist, but it was something that like Mark and other friends were like, yeah, you should probably not say that, I mean, I'll just say, like, I like a year or two ago, I would make a joke all the time. I actually still make it sometimes, and I shouldn't. Where I would say like, oh, I can't hear, I'm blind, or I'm blind, I can't hear,
Oh my god.
We were playing Overwatch one time, and this guy started fucking flaming in chat. So me being me, I'll fucking open my mouth. Which I know Mark fucking hates it when I open my mouth. He's like, Mark's always just like, why do you even say anything? Just don't say anything. You're just feeding them. But I told him, I was like, I said something along the lines to the guy in all chat. No, it wasn't in all chat. He was in all chat, but I was on mic, and I said something like, oh yeah, dude, I'm blind, I can't hear. And the guy was like, wow, that's fucked up, because like I'm, deaf, or I'm partially deaf, or whatever it was. Yeah. And I was just like, whatever, and I just kept going with it, and I'll own up to that. I fucked up. I should have stopped after that, but I think it's important to hold your friends accountable. Mark and I have known each other for 12 going on 13 years, and
a long ass time.
I think the mark of a true friend is being able to call somebody out for their bullshit. I think with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a quick break. We'll catch y'all in 30 to 60 seconds.
30 to 60 seconds.
See you guys on the other side. And we're back. Dude, those transitions are not gonna get any easier.
That's fine.
That's again, to people watching the live stream, that's for the audio version of the podcast. Yeah, so we're back, dude.
Welcome back.
Mark, did you ever watch G4 TV?
I watch G4 TV all the time.
It was good, dude. There's some quality programming, right?
Yeah,
X-Play.
I enjoyed Attack of the Show. Yeah.
Attack a Show, dude.
Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, Ninja Warrior.
That's where I was first introduced to Ninja Warrior.
So
Unbeatable Banzuke. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so G4 unfortunately fell under in 2014.
Right.
But it appears there's a new network that's going to launch soon that is kind of taking the same approach that G4 took. I'm, of course, talking about Venn, or the Video Game Entertainment and News Network. So this came out a couple days ago. Right. This new network, they announced that they're going to create 20 hours of weekly video programming that they're going to broadcast on television and on the web.
Yeah.
So some of the shows that they announced was it's an unboxing show that's going to be with Austin, formerly known as Raj Patel. There was going to be a show called Guest House, Looking for Gains. Oh, here, I have it here. So there's going to be Venn Arcade Live, which is a celebration of gaming and pop culture in a daily variety show. It seems like that's going to be their version of Attack of the Show.
Right.
Then Dare Package, which is a show where unboxing is a competitive sport. And that's going to be hosted by Austin, formerly known as Raj Patel. And then there's Guest House, which is each weekday afternoon, Venn will invite gaming stars and creators to choose their own adventure and customize their own 2-hour TV show. Then there's the Sushi Dragon Show, which stars the eccentric performance artist and streamer, the Sushi Dragon. And there's also Looking for Gains, which is hosted by YouTube sensation and competitive NBA 2K Pro Cash Nasty, which is going to be an interactive fitness show.
Right.
It's going to be interesting. I hope it succeeds because I loved G4. Like I used to come home from school every day, and I would come home just in time to watch Attack of the Show.
You're right.
And that would lead into like X Play and whatnot. So.
X Play and all that.
We'll see. Hopefully it's successful. It's going to be interesting though. I think they definitely have the demographic for it.
No love for Arena. Wow.
Arena.
Wait, Arena?
What's
Arena?
I don't remember that, to be honest. Don't remember. It'll be interesting though. I think they definitely have the demographic now. Yeah. Not saying that G4 didn't have the demographic back then, but I think back then gaming was more of a taboo. It was like seen as only the basement dwellers were the ones that played games.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now gaming has become such a universal thing that I think it'll do well. It'll be interesting though, because obviously with everything going on with the Rona, some of this stuff is going to be live in a studio. So they're expecting to launch August 5th. With everything going on though, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I know the two founders of the network have said that they're taking obviously every necessary precaution. They're making sure that any on-camera talent is no less than 6 feet apart. Excuse me, my voice just gave out. That there's going to be there's going to be plexiglass everywhere, that they're limiting the amount of people that are going to be in the control rooms and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see what happens. My worry though is they're saying that they eventually want to get it to where it's 24/7. They have programming, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
Which is going to be difficult because if you look at what happened with G4, towards the end there, they really only had, I think by the time they ended, X-Play was off the air.
Right.
It was really only Attack of the Show that was still running as original programming. And they ended up syndicating a lot of stuff that you could find on Spike TV. So it was a lot of like MXC. They started showing a lot of movies as well. Yeah. Like Terminator, and I don't know if they ever did Star Wars, but so it'll be interesting to see how they fill those gaps in. I'm sure they're gonna have some stuff syndicated. I know specifically they call out shows like in this article that I have. They called out like Rick and Morty and South Park, saying that there are people that already watch those shows, so they're gonna try to pull from that demographic.
Give me all the adult content. I'm an adult.
I'm an adult. Let me see here. Yeah. So one of the founders says, we know that gamers watch TV like Rick and Morty, South Park, Game of Thrones, and other shows. It's not like this audience doesn't exist in the TV realm. We will find them on the platforms where they are. So basically he's saying that, there's overlap there between people who view like YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers and the shows that they watch. So they're going to try to pull from that.
Yeah, I think it's really smart that they're also going to stream it.
Yeah.
Because I rarely watch TV.
Yeah.
And when I do sit down to watch TV, I'm streaming something, right? Like Netflix or Crunchyroll or something.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the other thing is how are they going to do it, right? If the shows that they have already announced are their tent pole shows, right?
Right.
How is that going to work? Is it going to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to air these at 5 p.m. and then at 6 p.m. they're going to be streamed online, or is it they're broadcasting it and streaming it at the same time, or is it going to be, you know, these three shows will be on TV, these three shows are going to be on YouTube and Twitch. You know,
Right.
that's the other thing is how they're going to do it. We'll see though. They're gonna definitely have to syndicate something to fill those gaps. Don't know what that could be. We'll see. You know what? I'm gonna call it right now, dude.
He's calling it right now.
They're gonna syndicate some like fucking like game shows from the 90s, bro, and early 2000s that like like no, dude, that like our generation grew up with for the nostalgia of it. But they're gonna take
a bunch of Jeopardy.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna take that approach that like they're gonna take that approach that like Nick did with Nick at Night, where it's they're gonna do it like after 10 p.m. You know what I mean? I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. Listen, Venn, if you need somebody to head up programming, I know a guy. It's me.
Venn, give us jobs.
And yep, give us jobs. So there's that. That's pretty interesting. I know people are already memeing it, because I think when it initially got announced, people thought it was like a competitor to Twitch, like it was another platform where you could stream games to,
Right.
which is not the case. Speaking of which, have you heard of Brime?
No, I haven't.
Oh really? You haven't? Like for real?
Brine?
Brime.
Like,
Brime.
Oh, brine. Not like I need to brine my turkey.
No.
24
Brime.
hours before I start cooking it.
Yeah,
So
not
Brime.
no. Yeah, so
I've
it's
never heard of Brime.
it's I'm actually really surprised. It's become a meme within the streaming community. It's apparently it's one guy who's wanting to create like this new streaming platform where they like actually hold people accountable for what they're doing. And a lot of people thought that like, because there was a rumor going around that the reason that Doc got let go from Twitch was because he was trying to start his own streaming platform. So a lot of people thought that this new thing, Watch Brime, was like the network he was trying to start. Not a lot is known about it right now, other than like apparently it's just one dude who's trying to do this. We'll see. I think right now anybody trying to start a streaming platform is most likely going to fail.
Yeah, we saw what happened with
Unfortunately,
Mixer.
yeah.
And right now the big three are Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
And then you have the smaller sites like D Live, and then something with a T, something like that. I don't remember.
Idea. Well, isn't there Azubu or
Azubu?
Yeah,
That's
but
Korean,
that's
I
Korea,
think.
right?
Yeah. And then you have the Chinese site Billy, and then the Japanese site Nico. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. I think competition's a good thing, but right now, unfortunately, just especially with Mixer becoming defunct, you have such a
Rest in
huge
peace,
influx. Mixer. Yeah, rip in peace, Mixer. You have such a huge influx to, of streamers to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch that it's going to be hard to get people to move to your platform if they've already moved to, one of these other platforms. So
yeah, like it's when I moved to Mixer, and now that Mixer's dead, it's like, do I really want to go through that again?
yeah.
No.
I can't handle it.
I can't do it.
So there's that. I guess we can move on to something that is entirely your realm, and that is the League of Legends World Championship.
Oh my goodness.
So China announced yesterday that they were canceling.
9th? Yeah, because yesterday was the 9th, yeah.
They were canceling all major sporting events due to COVID-19.
Right.
But they're not canceling League of Legends Worlds this year, which was to be held in China.
Right.
apparently the Chinese government said that it's because esports don't fall under the same realm as traditional sports for them, which is why they're still allowing it to be put on. And they're taking the NBA model of things where they're going to have one hub city where all the teams are going to be there. They're all going to be in the same area. And they're going to play in the same area. That way it's easier to monitor players and, to see if they're exhibiting symptoms of COVID or not. It'll be interesting. The thing that kind of irked me... No, go ahead.
So Tencent commented yesterday that before today's news report that World's Final in Shanghai would still go as planned, but things have likely changed. So according to Tencent right now, they're still going forward with the finals in Shanghai.
Okay.
As planned. But that's before... Hold on, there's a Forbes article. If it would load.
Yeah. Well, so
no, it's not gonna let me load it. It's in... Okay.
Oh, is it the you have to be membered? Oh, okay. Well, so real quick, originally it was gonna be there was gonna be different events all over China, right? Like they were gonna do the group play and one part, then like the semifinals and the quarterfinals, and then the finals that were gonna be in Shanghai, right?
Right.
Which they said they weren't doing anymore, right? Correct.
It still says that they're going ahead as planned.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
According to Slasher, this is from Slasher.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but people are saying things have changed, but there's no actual full announcement. But I can't load this Forbes.China thing. I can kind of load it.
Can you just Google Translate that?
Here, I'll put it in your chat.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Let me see. The other thing that came out about that was that because of this, China has been awarded Worlds for next year, for 2021, which originally it was supposed to be here in the U.S. So the U.S. Hosting Worlds got pushed back to 2022.
I wonder if they're just going to make it online and then push everything forward by a year.
Maybe. Let me see. So were you able to load it at all? The article?
Yeah, it's machine or like Google translated. So
okay. Yeah, because I have it here.
It's like a weird font.
Yeah, it is. It's like a weird like pseudo typewriter font.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Guys, if you want to...
Says, let's see, new infrastructure will inspire the wisdom of a new generation of young people. The industrial internet is destined to bring a stage of dreams to digital natives. I believe that the digital world is a new home waiting for the global young people to build together. Let's see, the chairman and CEO of Tencent's board of directors said in a greeting sent to the conference that day, at present, our unknown about new technology such as our... Okay, wait, what? Why is it talking about artificial intelligence in this article?
I don't know.
That's a thing. Okay, well.
Okay, but the title is The League of Legends Season 10 Global Finals is expected to be held in Shanghai as scheduled. That's the title of the article.
Yeah. But it's talking about Shanghai as becoming a global esports capital.
Which that's probably,
I don't know. Maybe we just got clickbaited, dude. maybe we just got clickbaited. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Either way, we'll see what Tencent says. As we all know, Tencent has a majority stake in Riot. So
they're owned by Riot, aren't they? Or I'm sorry, Riot's owned by them, right?
Right. I'm pretty sure that Tencent owns like 51% of Riot. No. They bought the entire thing. They own all of it.
Yeah, they bought them completely out.
So yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I was a little annoyed when the news came out that China's getting Worlds next year as well, because god darn it, Rona already ruined Spring LCS for us.
Yeah, we were gonna go see Spring LCS finals, but couldn't because Rona.
Because of the Rona, and I thought, oh, that'd be sick. We'll just go watch Worlds, dude. We'll just go watch Worlds next year. Now we have to wait another year, but it's all good.
We'll go eventually, dude.
We'll go eventually. Maybe by then, 100 Thieves will have a good enough team that they'll actually win.
Yeah, or CLG. Damn it. It's so hard being a CLG fan, man.
Oh man, dude.
Feels bad, man.
Do you think that maybe the league being franchised has kind of contributed to a decline in team performance because teams no longer have to worry about being relegated?
Probably for the bottom teams, but Cloud9's still popping off every season, so I think TSM still does pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't do that well last year, but they're doing pretty well this year and the year before that, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if like for the bottom teams if it's kind of like, well, I mean, if we don't win, we don't win. It's not like we're not going to be in the league next year, you know?
Right.
Unless,
And
you get another Echo Fox situation or an Optic situation,
yeah,
you know?
rest in peace, Echo Fox and
Yeah, dude.
Optic.
Shout out my boy Rick Fox.
Yeah, it sucks being a CLG fan. Ugh.
Yeah, we'll see what happens though. I mean, maybe they'll see. My only thing is if you do online, like for the play-ins, how is that going to work? Because I still feel like the teams from Europe and I mean the teams that aren't in China are going to have to be in China. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I figure all the international teams will go,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder if they're just gonna do it like how LCK is doing it right now without a crowd.
It's possible.
So, because I know China has a bunch of esports stadiums,
Yeah.
so I wonder if they're just gonna do it without a crowd, and everybody's gonna be behind, in their own little booth.
Well, I mean, if they do end up doing the like bubble city like the NBA, it could literally just be one stadium, and they play everything in person without a crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
you just make sure that after every game you're just cleaning everything, or maybe have multiple stations within the the stadium. I don't
Right.
know. It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if they're gonna since they're doing the NBA approach to things, if they're gonna have those like the wristbands that NBA players are gonna have to wear. I don't know if you heard about this.
No, I didn't.
So NBA players are wearing these wristbands that are gonna monitor like their vitals. So like their body temperature and whatnot.
That's pretty.
So that they're kind of being monitored at all times. So that
Right.
if they end up getting a fever, like immediately, the doctors and nurses on site will be able to check them, quarantine them, and test them. Plus, I think they're getting tested I think before every game or something like that, or maybe every
Right.
day.
Yeah,
I can't
something
quite
like
remember.
that.
But I wonder if Riot will do the same thing for Worlds.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens, huh? It's UFC. I don't know what UFC is doing.
Like I said earlier, I haven't really seen anything MMA. Did they end up? This is one of our friends, Joe, in our chat right now. If you're listening to the audio, he's bringing up UFC. Did Dana White ever get his island? Because I know that was
What
the thing.
the fuck?
Yeah, that was the thing where he was gonna get an island and like have Fight Island or something. So let's see. Joe says for the events in Abu Dhabi, everyone quarantines in Las Vegas for a week, then flies over and quarantines again. If you test positive, you don't go. Oh, that makes sense. For a week though, I feel like that they should quarantine longer. You know what I mean? Since some people don't, if they show symptoms, sometimes it takes up to 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, people are still figuring it out. At this point, as far as sports go, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if the NFL cancels the season. It really wouldn't. I don't know. If I'm Mr. NFL, it's like, do I cancel the season and lose all that money? Probably not. Do I do things like play without a crowd? Sure. But I know even within the NBA, I want to say it was like LeBron was one of the people that said, like, I'm not playing in an empty stadium. Which I think is just a super selfish thing to say,
Yeah.
So we'll see what comes of it. I guess since we're on the topic, Mark, who's going to Worlds from the LCS?
C9
C9.
for sure. I would say right now. Who would I even say? C9 100%.
C9 just 3 times.
C9 3 times because they're the only team that we can count on to do literally anything in international events.
I'm calling it right now. 100 Thieves is gonna make it.
Oh shit!
In about 2 years.
2 years, okay. Get the 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
That's Woo! CLG was doing good. They started 4-2, and I think now they're like 4-4 something. I don't know. It's hard being a CLG fan.
Hey, that's better than they did last split, right?
Every game's a struggle, but yeah.
Yep. Late game champs.
Late game champs. And we're just C9 for sure. That's what I can tell you. That's from my professional opinion. C9 is going to Worlds.
C9 is making it to Worlds, and the other 2 spots, well, they're up for grabs.
Oh, okay. C9, Evil Geniuses. Those 2.
EG, yeah, you know sure. What? EG, they kind of started. They started turning around towards the end of last split, right?
Yeah, they're pretty chef's kiss right now.
And then who do you think? Liquid, TSM, FlyQuest?
And then I wouldn't be surprised if TL got it, and I kind of don't want TL to get it. I don't want TSM to get it either, so I hope FlyQuest gets it.
I don't know, dude. Just because Liquid made it to Worlds, obviously, last year, because they were just the best team in the US, or in North America, excuse me.
See, I say I don't want Liquid to make it because every time they go to Worlds, they just fail.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like they just shit the bed.
Same thing with TSM. Every time they go to Worlds, they just fail. And also, I'm a CLG fan, so I hate TSM.
Dude.
Just how it is. You know, I have that bias.
TSM though, if you're listening, I don't hate you guys. So if you want to pick me up, I'm cool with that. I can bring good vibes to the team. And also snacks.
Oh, snacks.
I'm sure you have a personal chef, but do you have a professional snack? Because that's me. I'm a snack with 2 C's.
Oh my goodness. I'm just saying. From seasons past, we can count on Cloud9 to at least do something. So that's where my faith is going.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting. We're what week are we on for LCS? Week
5?
5?
5. Week 5.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So we'll see what happens with that. Moral of the story is Rona ruined our spring finals, and we're gonna have to wait another year.
Right.
We're gonna have to wait another fucking year.
Goddamn mask.
God damn it. Wear your mask. Wear your fucking mask. So we wanted to do something a little different with this podcast and keep it somewhat short because we realized that like 2 hours is kind of a huge undertaking. It's a huge undertaking, not just for us, but for like you guys who are watching and or listening. But hey, we appreciate you. So I guess we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. But just one last thing I wanted to talk about. So Mark, the U.S. Army eSports team, that's a thing that exists.
Oh my god.
To be fair though, I have known about, and I'm sure you have too, have known about the military kind of taking an interest in esports. Yeah. Because we have a friend that we went to high school with who joined the Air Force who both played professionally and coached a team within the military. I think it was called the Military Gaming League or something like that. But it was a professional league within the military. So it's something that we've known about. But it seems like the U.S. Army esports team is getting a lot of attention for the wrong reasons.
They're oohing.
Yeah, they're getting it for the wrong reasons. So the U.S. Army the U.S. Army esports team replied to a Discord tweet using uwu, which is an emote that people use to, I guess, how would you describe it? To make something cute?
It's like to be a cute, kawaii girl. Yeah. Basically. Uwu, you know?
So, um, people have started trolling the team, and they have made a game of seeing how long it takes to get banned, or how quickly they can get banned in their Twitch stream and in their Discord. It's become the hottest speed run this year, this
God
month.
damn it.
Which Mark is a speedrunner, so
Yeah.
I think Mark could appreciate this, right?
Yeah,
So
because if you guys don't know, this has happened before. There was a speedrun category for getting banned in Yandere Dev's Discord. So this has happened before.
it's really interesting though. So the U.S. Army is using their esports division to really what it is to recruit people, to recruit kids. Not kids, but teenagers, people who are of age to join the military. They're using it as an opportunity to recruit them by showing them sort of the different, showing them another career path that you can take within the Army, right? Well, during a stream, a Green Beret characterized viewers asking about U.S. atrocities as, quote, internet keyboard monsters, and also saying that, quote, I'm bigger than you. So essentially what happened was during this Twitch stream, people were typing in chat asking about U.S. war crimes. And if you typed in war crimes, your message was deleted by automod. So basically what that means is it would get sent through and immediately deleted by a program, essentially. So people were changing it up to say like, what's your favorite U.S. war crime? But they would say like, they would replace the A with a 4 and the I in crime with a 1 to get past the filter.
Yeah.
And once that was going through, then another mod would delete it. So like a human mod would delete the message and like time or ban the person who sent it. At the time, they were playing Call of Duty Warzone, which is anybody who's unfamiliar with Call of Duty, it is a first-person shooter where you play a military faction, right?
Yeah.
So this, I guess, came about because they were playing the game and they were using a kill streak that which was white phosphorus, which the US has admitted to using. And so people started trolling and asking them about what their favorite war crime was. So a Green Beret named Joshua David was streaming at the time, and let me see here. Again, he was the one that referred to people as internet keyboard monsters and saying, I'm bigger than you. He said, a quote, I think every post that I do from now on is going to say ooh woo in it just to flex. Y'all are going to talk all that crap about my angels on the esports team, the nicest person in the entire world, you little internet keyboard monsters. No, I won't stand for that. I am bigger than you. So obviously saying I am bigger than you, to me, the way I interpreted that was, he's taking the high road on it. Not saying like I'm more important than you or I am better than you, but saying I am going to take the high road and I'm not going to stoop to your level. That's the way I took it. But also, can we talk a moment, Mark? Have you ever used Uwu to flex on somebody?
No comment.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. That, I mean, just, again, just as somebody who likes to meme, I thought that was fucking hilarious when he said that.
Yeah.
I think that's so fucking funny, dude. And you know what? Honestly, more power to him for doing that. It's, it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm a humongous weeb. So
yeah.
That's pretty common in my area of interest, in my area of expertise.
So there was that. He also said, okay, so actually shortly after he had that exchange, they stopped streaming and then returned. So they went offline, then they came back online, and now only people who had been following for 24 hours could type in chat.
Yeah.
Right. In a statement, the U.S. Army esports team said that it felt viewers' comments violated Twitch's policies against harassment. Quote, the U.S. Army esports team follows the guidelines and policies set by Twitch, and they did ban a user from their account. Team members are very clear when talking with potential applicants that a game does not reflect a real Army experience. They discuss their career experiences in real terms with factual events. Team members ensure people understand what the Army offers through a realistic lens and not through the lens of a game meant to entertain. The U.S. Army offers youth more than 150 different careers, and ultimately the goal of the esports team is to accurately portray the range of opportunities to interested youth. So yeah, I mean, they're using it as a recruitment tool. You know, obviously, I'm not going to say anything bad about the military. My grandfather served in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. You know,
So did my grandpa.
Yeah, Mark's
My
grandfather
great
as well.
grandpa was also he was a spy during World War II.
Well,
Pretty
hot
cool.
damn, dude.
When he passed away, they actually declassified a bunch of his stuff, which was pretty sick.
So if you're great,
shout out to you, Tata.
if your Tata was a spy, what the fuck happened to you, dude?
I know, right?
Obviously, there's other things going on within the world of military. You know, that I don't think we're gonna touch on. You know, and I think just like with, you know, even what's going on with police officers right now, it's not black. You know, things aren't black and white. There's a lot of gray area. So I don't think we're going to touch on that. But, you know, as somebody who lived in and was partially raised by a member of, you know, the military, you know, there is a level of respect there. So I'm not gonna shit on them for using it as a recruitment tool, you know, because, you know, they use this as a recruitment tool, but then they also do things like sending out mailers, recruiting in person. There's just a lot of different things that, you know, you do to recruit people. Right. And it's not just the U.S. Army, but it's the Navy and the Air Force who have also launched esports teams, you know, to help recruit people. And actually, it's only the Marines are the only branch who have said that they're not going into esports because, quote, it's due in part to the belief that the brand and issues associated with combat are too serious to be gamified in a responsible manner. Okay, so that was a quote, a statement from the Marine Corps. The other thing that came out of this was that the ACLU is actually looking into and investigating these bans on Twitch and in Discord because they say it is a violation of the Constitution. So let's have a little analogy here, Mark. Ready?
Okay, yeah, let's go. Bring it.
At my work, if you come in without a mask and I tell you you have to either put on a mask or leave, I am not infringing on your rights. Correct. Because it is a private business, right?
Right.
The Constitution protects your rights and ensures that you have those rights and they cannot be taken away by the government or government entities. So in this instance, the ACLU is arguing that because the esports team and the streamers are acting in an official capacity of the U.S. Army, which is a branch of the U.S. government, or I'm sorry, the U.S. military, which is a government entity, that they cannot ban people from their chats in Twitch or from Discord because they would be infringing on your constitutional rights. It's the same reason that members of Congress cannot block people on social media platforms because you are acting as a government, a member of the government, and if you do that, you are infringing on somebody's rights. So we'll see where that goes. I just thought that was really interesting. I actually just saw that before we started streaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, it's kind of okay. First of all, it's kind of a dick thing to do, to just go into something with the intention of getting banned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't promote any of that because there's a lot of different ideologies and things that are here on Twitch. And as long as you're not hurting people and your ideology isn't illegal, like, you know, hey, let's go kill some people, that's illegal, don't do that, you know, you can't, that's against TOS. If your ideology isn't hurting people, you should have the right to, you know, go for it. Like we only like red controllers. We're gonna promote red controllers. Red controllers are the best goddamn controllers ever. And if somebody comes in and starts spamming some like, I hate red controllers, fuck red controllers, get that shit out of here, and just starts going off, it's like, what the fuck, dude? They're not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything. They just want to celebrate red controllers. Nothing wrong with that. And the fact that you came into this channel or whatever, into this community with the sole intention of getting banned, it's like, that's kind of, you're the asshole in that situation.
Yeah. And I think what doesn't help the situation any is that you have prominent people in the community who are like making a joke of it and taking it lightly, Yeah. And again, whatever your view on the military is, that's your view. Mark and I have our own views. These are our opinions that we have formed ourselves as, adults.
Right.
So it's not a we're not arguing whether the military is good or not. That's not what it is. It's just is it right to go into somebody's chat? Because you bring it up like what if it's not the U.S. Army eSports Twitch page? What if it's like what if it's your Twitch page, right, Mark?
Right.
And like you were saying, right? You say something like I love anime. Love it. Here's my favorite animes, and then somebody just shows up and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck with this guy," and "Oh, you fucking this and that," and anime is fucking shit, and blah blah blah. It's like, come on.
Yeah, like if you come into my channel and you say shit about my waifu, you're fucking banned. Like, you're done, kid. That's it. Done. You're done.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna stand for that? My waifu, goddammit.
Yeah, I think and you brought up the good point. It's like you do that in anybody else's channel and you're gonna get banned, and it's guess what? That's on you. Right. Don't make a spectacle of it. Don't encourage other people to do it. Because then at the end of the day, it's targeted harassment. Doesn't matter whose channel it's in. It's targeted harassment, and if the streamer was so inclined, they could potentially take legal action against you. If the plaintiff Eric Estevillo happens to see that shit, he might just make a lawsuit, bro, out of nothing.
He might just get you, dude.
He might sue you for saying that that you're following female streamers on the platform. You never know. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to touch base on, Mark.
Guys, go watch ReZero Season 2. Going on Crunchyroll. Also watch The God of High School on Crunchyroll. We're not sponsored by Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll, I love you guys. Please give me a sponsorship.
Dude, you know what? ReZero. We're gonna, you know what, Mark? Next Friday, it's gonna be the all anime podcast.
All anime podcast.
Because for those of you who may not know, Mark is a fucking Mark is a savant when it comes to animus, dude. The man is insane.
Oh.
If you're listening to the audio, waifu. Mark just brought out his waifu body pillow.
My waifu right here. You can also see her right there.
Yeah, that's his waifu. Yeah, Mark is like, yeah, dude. If I have any questions about anime at all, it's like I go to Mark.
Yeah, guys, if you enjoy something and you love it, don't be afraid to show it.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody should bring you down for loving something.
Yeah, if you take one lesson away, if you take 2 lessons away from today's episode, it's don't sue people for stupid shit.
There you go.
And if you love something, don't be ashamed of it.
There you go.
As long as you're not like, it's not illegal. As long as it's not illegal. let's clarify that.
If it's illegal, you're a piece of shit.
But yeah, you know what, Mark? If you next week, if you want to dedicate it to entirely anime, dude, I'm so down with that. We can call it the kawaii anime episode.
The kawaii anime episode.
So if you want to do that, you know, I myself, I may not be as well versed in anime as Mark, but you know, I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, the new season just started, so there'll be a lot of new shows coming out. So we'll have a lot to discuss.
All right, so real quick, Mark, your top 3 anime of all time before we go. What are they?
ReZero, Gare Zero, Naruto, Shippuden, Naruto, everything. Because I grew up with Naruto. I fucking love Naruto.
All right, there you go, guys.
My boy.
That's gonna do it for us today. Look forward to next week where I'm just gonna ask Mark a bunch of.
I will give watch lists.
Yeah, you know what? If you want to do that, we can actually do that.
I'll give the shows I recommend for this season.
Yeah,
so.
we can do that. Well, yeah, okay. So look forward to that next week. That'll be really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
That'll be super fun. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We super appreciate it. Remember, you can find us if you're listening to the audio podcast right now. We are at cloudmark_ on Twitter and Instagram. Cloudmark27 on Twitch, and then I am Mike Madran 0 on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at We Digress Pod, or you can go to anchor.fm/We Digress to catch up on any episodes you have missed. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next week.
Goodbye, everyone.